Now, as DCI and in charge, if you will, of the intelligence community, would it assist you if the FBI's domestic intelligence function was separate from its investigative and its law enforcement and prosecutorial function?
I don't believe so. And I'll tell you why. First of all, I would say the first thing that's important, and Bob Mueller will talk about this afternoon. I'm not going to go into the changes and how he thinks about this. We've been running operations with the FBI against targets for 30 years. In terms of their tradecraft and how they operate with us and how we jointly recruit people, this is well known, well understood between us. Where he's trying to take the organization is to put a primacy, particularly in the terrorism arena, put a primacy on the intelligence gathering aspect of it and put the prosecution of it behind. I think you would also argue that the prosecutorial power may actually have a benefit in terms of his ability to recruit someone, in terms of an enticement and an enhancement, or how you talk to somebody. But I think that the way to do this is to keep that together and then grow within the FBI a separate kind of officer with a separate kind of training and a separate kind of career path, where the intelligence mission is not divorced from the prosecutorial mission, but is something, you know, you can grow in quite a different way. I mean, the devil is all in the recruiting, the training, the promotion precepts, and how you reward that individual for the work is really where you're going to make hay here, but I wouldn't separate it.
Right. The advantages of working with foreign liaison services. This approach has several limitations that were manifest before September 11th. These limitations can hinder cooperation and possibly be exploited by terrorists. On some occasions, individuals in some liaison services are believed to have cooperated with terrorist groups. In addition, the former chief of the Counterterrorism Center, Bin Laden unit, testified that, redacted, governments can also be highly sensitive about information that embarrasses them or implicates their citizens in terrorism. The former chief of the Counterterrorism Center's Bin Laden unit testified that, redacted, problems common even with governments that have long been close partners of the United States. Many intelligence services are reluctant to share information. Even the most cooperative services withhold information to protect sources and methods, and for other reasons. Several European governments were described as indifferent to the threat of al-Qaeda posed before September 11th, while others faced legal restrictions that impeded their ability to disrupt terrorist cells. Former National Security Advisor Sandy Berger told the joint inquiry that European governments, except Great Britain, did not share the United States assessment of the al-Qaeda threat. Joint inquiry interviews in Germany showed that the Germans did not see Islamist groups as a significant threat to their interests before September 11th. Deputy National Security Advisor Stephen Hadley also noted that European support varied according to the perceived threat. Former chief of the Counterterrorism Center's Bin Laden unit testified that some European services had minimal interest in the Bin Laden target and offered little assistance. Bin Laden also was not a priority target for the redacted until September 11th, according to the joint inquiry interviews abroad. Several services are apparently excessively bureaucratic. Interviews in Germany revealed that the intelligence apparatus was deliberately fragmented to make abuses of power more difficult. This fragmentation also made coordination and information sharing more difficult. Furthermore, before September 11th, it was not illegal to be a member of foreign terrorist organizations in Germany or to raise funds for them. The assistant director for the FBI's Counterterrorism Division noted that the Germans were so restrictive prior to 9/11 with their constitution about what they can and cannot do that they could do very little. Finally, liaison partners have their own equities to consider, and this must be taken into account when working with them and in evaluating information received from them. some services will try to take advantage of joint operations to seek more information. Now, just to add a little bit of a note here. The German intelligence unit, the BFV, had given information to the FBI regarding members of the Hamburg cell, most notably Ziad Jarrah. According to them, they said that they could not make a link between Ziad Jarrah and the Hamburg cell because they themselves did not have any evidence for them about him planning terrorist activity, besides the FBI saying there was one.